In 1990, more than 30 years ago, government introduced an affirmative action policy awarding female students who sought to join universities 1.5 points to increase the participation of women in higher education. Since its introduction, the number of female students in public universities has increased. For instance, this year Makerere University reported that 53% of its graduates were female compared to 47% male. Over the years, there has been a debate over whether the policy has served its purpose. While some say that the policy remains relevant, others suggest that it may no longer be necessary. Some experts say there are many factors contributing to increase in the number of female enrollment at public universities and not just the affirmative action of 1.5 points.
A lot of other factors have emerged, that the expansion of the education sector, the increase in the number of the education institutions, the universities, the secondary schools that feed into the universities.
They are now calling for research to determine the impact of the 1.5 point policy compared to other developments such as the expansion of secondary school education that feeds into universities. The experts are cautioning prematurely scrapping the policy without a clear understanding of its contribution.
Before you make the research, you cannot make the conclusion. Because for me, if we had information that can tell us how much each of those contributing factors has contributed to the numbers, then we would say, okay, we can remove it because we no longer need it because there are other factors that are contributing to APCD. But right now, what we have is just the in the gender and development discourse, we call it a moral panic, because people are seeing that we have more females, therefore the males are disadvantaged, which is not necessarily the case, because we have to look at the other parameters.
When we come to research, when you're starting a project, you have to do a baseline and know the current situation. Then at the end of the day, do a midline, where are we heading? Then at the end of the day, do an end line to see the impact of the project you've designed. It comes again to education.
But other researchers have called for a broader focus on gender equity, as programs aimed at empowering girls have yielded positive results, but the boy child has been left behind in some areas.
Let all have equal opportunities, because we cannot currently, we are not looking at 1980, we are looking at now 2025, the 21st century. So let boys be empowered, let girls also be empowered.
Now, previously, when you look, girls were underprivileged. But when you look now, they're actually over empowered than the boys. So we think that it should be on the same level, except in the deeper villages, where people still have a mentality that a girl should go to marriage instead of going to school.
We have to utilize the statistics as per now. It shows that the target is already achieved. So we have to study and get to see how do we now redirect that action.
Some members of parliament oppose the abolition of the affirmative action policy, insisting it is premature to do so.
Districts are doing extremely badly. Even when you find those graduates who come from the rural Uganda, who graduated, those students who graduated in Makerere last week, and they are from the rural Uganda. That statistic is misleading. The people are very, very few. They're not representative. A big number of those who graduated are actually from cities.